Welcome to the Weather Gurus podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the grand solar maximum and the CMEs and the potential for solar flares affecting Earth in the next 2 years here, 2024-2025 cycle. As you can see, the solar maximum, according to scientists, will arrive sooner and last longer than previously expected. This was an article from last year, October 30th, 2023, in space.com. This is an example of a solar flare erupting from the surface of the sun. As you can see, it's very powerful. Sometimes it disrupts radio communications as blips. Sometimes it can disrupt power grids, depending on how things go. But the sun is going to reach the peak of its current activity, meaning a solar maximum in 2024 and this year. And also we're going to talk about, of course, the total eclipse that we're going to be experiencing later on this year, in this year 2024. Now, this is 1 year earlier than previous estimates. Before, according to NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center, they had this going on in 2025. So now we're in solar cycle 25. We're going to see the peak of activity known as the solar maximum between January and October 2024. So it's going to be stronger. So this peak of solar activity is going to continue with sunspots and everything that's going to be making its changes here. So we can see it here. You can read about it here on space.com. What do you think is going to happen on this when we have the solar cycle, the maximum? As you can see, the sun is a large entity, and its the maximum is predicted for 2024 and 2025, according to the Farmer's Almanac. And you can see here, we've entered into that cycle, this 11-year cycle of solar maximum. Now, why does this matter? You can see it matters because as it goes on this sine curve here, you can see that it's going to be making a very big impact on the predictions here. So on this chart here, you can see the solar activities increase. This has a chance to impact communications. This has a chance to impact a lot of different things. The questions asked, could an extremely powerful solar flare destroy all electronics on Earth? Or maybe not that bad. A coronal mass ejection can destroy a lot of things on Earth. So we're going to see these coming this year and next year particularly. So what you need to look forward to is have a way to protect your electronics. Get a cheap Faraday cage with a steel trash can, stuff like that, that's insulated from, just in case there's a strong CME or a solar flare that's strong enough to disrupt communications. It may not be for a long time, maybe for a couple hours, maybe a brownout or blackout, but a CME, a coronal mass ejection, has occurred in the past, back in the 1800s, and that can occur again because it messes up with the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, we depend heavily on electronics and electricity, more so than we did back in 1859. If a solar superstorm hit us now, we'd be in trouble. Okay, anything that conducts electricity, power transformers, and the power grid itself could be at risk. It could be worse than what happened in Texas 2 years ago with the Texas deep freeze. Okay, the power grid in North America is already at near capacity, so it won't be able to handle increased electrical load from a solar superstorm. Power lines could sag, snap as a result. We could have massive power outages affecting much of the continent, and the magnetic poles will fluctuate and interfere with radio signals. Communication and satellite systems will collapse as well. So that means things like your cell phone, your satellite phones, your radios, shortwave radios may work, but other radios, CB radios, ham radios may work. It depends. Other things will be totally collapsed. It could take weeks or months to repair this type of damage, or maybe even years. So it's possible that a CME, a coronal mass ejection, could affect your computer and cause glitches. A simple reboot will solve the problem in some simple cases, but if you lose the power grid and you're limited by your battery's charge, once that run out, you'll be in some trouble. Okay, so there's no way to prevent a solar superstorm, but we can limit the impact, of course, of CME, this article said. So everybody's working on overhauling the power grid system into the smart grid thing. But like I said, a lot of the smart grid depends on what? Wi-Fi and the Internet of Things, or Internet 3.0. And the more things you have tied into the system, the more chances are it's going to be for it to malfunction or even not stop working at all. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think about this grand solar maximum, grand solar minimum things that is happening. Let me know, do you believe in it? Let me know, do you think it's going to be cause some disruptions in communications? Let me know about that. The 2024 total eclipse, who all is going to go see this event? It's in an awkward angle. The path of totality is very awkward through the middle of the country, kind of like through the Texarkana area, then it heads up and through the Ohio Valley, and then out towards more so the northern fringe of the country, more towards Canada, the Canadian border, more or less. But anyway, in any event, it is going to cross many portions of the United States here. This total solar eclipse, is happening on April 8, 2024. It will be visited. Now, a partial eclipse will be visible throughout all the 48 states, but this total eclipse is what's really special because it only occurs like once every 12 or 15 years. So weather permitting, you'll be able to see it for the majority of the lower 48 United States. Let me know if you're in the comments also if you're going to see the eclipse, or if you're going to make some plans, special plans to travel to any one of these states along the path, especially if you're in Texas, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. You might have a better chance of seeing it in New York, upstate New York. So let me know if you're going to see the path of totality. The times are listed here. It's according to NASA.gov. Totality, maximum totality. You get a couple of minutes there of good quality viewership, maybe anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes of maximum viewership there. And these are the places here. So let me know if you're going to see that as well. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Weather Guru. And please be sure to subscribe. And I'll read all of your comments. Thank you for your support. Talk to you very soon.